G'day guys, welcome back. My name is Wildkard. Super Rugby 2023 Grand Final, the Chiefs versus the Crusaders. Now, if you told me early in the season that the Crusaders is going to beat the unbeatable, almost unbeatable Chiefs in Hamilton for the title, I would have said you were joking. This is an unbelievable turnaround for the Crusaders. The masterminded by Scott Robertson, the future All Blacks head coach. The dynasty may have ended at the Crusaders, but a new dynasty is going to be rising for the All Blacks. This was so impressive for Scott Robertson to turn this team around. Okay, just to give you an idea, at the beginning of the year, I actually made fun of him because he was appointed as the All Blacks head coach. He was busy giving out presentations to the board members of the All Blacks, and it looked like he had lost sight of managing the Crusaders. The Crusaders came out losing to the Chiefs in the first round, and then go on to lose to the Fijian Endura in Fiji a couple rounds later. And and the Crusaders look shaky, look like they don't know what they were doing, look like a headless chook running around, right? And I was laughing. Scott Robertson taking over the All Blacks. And it's about to get I can't even manage the Crusaders anymore. What a joke! And so with that awful start to the season, the Crusaders went on to have injuries after injuries after injuries to the All Blacks players to key positions. They lost props, they lost centers, they lost everybody. Okay, they ended up having to call back players from overseas. Okay, to play in Super Rugby, okay? They literally have to call back players that's on the verge of retirement to fill up the roster, to put it onto the field, okay? And with all that adversity, with all that difficulties in having a consistent lineup, the Crusaders dominated the quarterfinals, dominated the semifinals over the Blues that is stacked with your All Blacks players, and then finished off the Chiefs. That's looking unbeatable for the whole season. Okay, the Chiefs only lost one close game to the Reds. The Crusaders came out and they beat the Chiefs. And Scott Robertson, my hat's off to you if I wear a hat. But that is impressive, mate. That is really, really unbelievable turnaround for a team that is under so much issues. Everybody would have just given him an excuse with all the injuries the Crusaders have. If they had lost in the quarterfinals or semifinals, sure, you've had so many things happen to you. You got your hands tied behind your back. You're forgiven. No, he's taken a bunch of players that I never even heard of and dominated again and again and again. They knew what they wanted to do. Scott Robertson knows how to win rugby games. The set piece from this team is unbelievable. Against the Chiefs team, The Crusaders really suffocated the Chiefs team today, okay? And so the final score, 20 points to 25. Believe it or not, the Chiefs suffered 3 yellow cards this game because of the suffocation that the Crusaders imposed upon the Chiefs. The defense for the Crusaders was so good. In the final, 3 minutes or so, the Chiefs had the ball halfway, okay? The Crusaders pushed the Chiefs from halfway all the way to inside the Chiefs 22 with just defense. That is just unbelievable discipline to not give away penalty, unbelievable structure, composure, and just, training. Training preparation. Knowing that this is what they might end up. And they prepared, they trained for this, they knew exactly what they were going to do. Nobody rushed out of the defensive line. Nobody overcommitted to the breakdowns and just play their hand, play their time, and then eventually suffocated out the Chiefs. This was so insane. So good performance by the Crusaders. And this was unbelievable. I'm speechless. So the Crusaders, right? Just give an idea how impressive the Scott Robertson actually is and how good this is going for the All Blacks. In 2016, the Crusaders finished 7th in the Super Rugby. Lost to the Lions in the quarterfinals. In 2017, Scott Robertson took over the team. Immediately takes the team back to first place. 2018, another first place defeating the Lions again. 2019, another first place defeating the Jaguares. And 2020, there was a bit of a COVID issues. 2020, in the second half, they came first in the overall rankings. That was almost a perfect season for them. 2021, they beat the Chiefs in the final again. And then last year, last year they beat the Blues in the finals in 2022 and 2023, which is just the game we just saw today. They beat the Chiefs once again in the finals. Yeah, this is scary for what's gonna happen to the All Blacks next year. The Scott Robertson knows what's the importance of the set piece. Like, the Crusaders are so well drilled in the set piece, and they know how to play minimize the kicking game that the Chiefs wanted to play. And when they get their chance, they just know exactly what to do, exactly to execute how their set piece, and just suffocate and force those penalties and force those forward tries for their favor. It's so impressive for the Crusaders. So let's have a look at some of the stats of this game. 2 tries to 3 of the Crusaders. The Chiefs actually had more run meters this game, 538 to the Crusaders, 387. At halftime, the run meters are quite similar. The Chiefs had just over 230 run meters, the Crusaders 240. So the Crusaders were actually a little bit ahead in run meters at halftime. But second half, the Chiefs actually kicked in another gear, trying to come back, but the Crusaders stuck to their game plan and went back to what they were doing the best, kept the game tight, kept the set piece rolling, and punished the Chiefs. And yeah, eventually forced out another yellow card out of Sam Cane, the All Blacks captain. The pressure really mounted to him, and and closed out the game, retaking the lead from that yellow card and closed out the game 25 points to 20. Tackles made 148 for the Chiefs, 13 missed tackles. The Chiefs defense is really top class. They have been the best defensive team in the Super Rugby for the whole season. For the Crusaders to really grind through that defense is super impressive. Crusaders themselves was also, like I said, incredibly disciplined as well. 129 tackles made, 21 missed tackles overall. Kicking game, 33 kicking game for the Chiefs, 33 for the Crusaders, just matching up exactly what the Chiefs want to do. At halftime, the kicking game for the Chiefs was, again, really a bit too much, maybe. 20 kicks for both teams already at halftime. Second half, both teams tightened up that kicking game and really started playing the structured discipline, more of a forward momentum sort of style. And both teams saw a lot more collisions, a lot more head-to-head physical grinding at the breakdowns, and eventually the Crusaders was able to. Chiefs found a lot of success, but eventually the Crusaders was able to squeeze that penalty out of Sam K and getting that yellow card and getting themselves the win. Penalties, goals, both teams has missed one. D-Mac missed 2. He tried a 50-meter kick that was a bit too far for his reach. I thought that was probably the wrong decision there for them. I felt like they probably should have pressured a bit more and got a bit closer. It was almost like they wanted to, they had an opportunity to kick for 3, and this was over 50 meters. D-Mac just simply didn't have the distance. They still forced it upon D-Mac to take that kick, and it was not really ideal. 21 lineouts for the Crusaders, like that is insane amount of ball going out of bounds for the Crusaders. Scrums fought for the Chiefs, 1 to the Crusaders. Penalties conceded, and this is where the Chiefs really hurt themselves. 15 penalties. Yeah, that is really high for a team that wants to win the Super Rugby Final. Crusaders 8 under the 10, which is always good. What was happening for the Chiefs is that they were giving out repeated penalties, and the referee was issuing warnings after warnings, and eventually Ben O'Keefe had no choice but to give out yellow cards. The first yellow card was given due to Anton Leonard-Brown putting on a high shot. I thought that was a red card, to be honest. That was a kickoff early in the first half. Head-on-head collision. Nope. Anton Leonard-Brown did not look like he ducked at all. Did not make an attempt to drop his body height. Just went for a bear hug. Head-to-head. We've seen this again and again and again. It's a red card. But Super Rugby, Brendan Pickerel seemed to got the bright money for New Zealand Rugby to say, hey, let's not ruin this one with a red card. And the TMO reviewed it, said it was a yellow. I mean, honestly, that was a red. Not gonna lie. That was 100% a red. Any other referee anywhere around the world, if they're not Kiwis, it would have been 100% a red card. So that was pretty poor from Brendan Pickerel. And then the second yellow card was repeated penalties. Who was it to? I think it was to Luke Jacobson, Luke Jacobson, a huge player for the Chiefs and for the All Blacks. Just repeated penalties, getting it right in the breakdowns after warning. So he happened to be the one that got punished. Wasn't really his fault. Sam Kang right at the end. That was a crucial yellow card that was given away. The Crusaders just putting so much pressure with the more getting repeated penalties. Sam Kang was probably a bit frustrated. The ball was not out when the tackle was made. The ball was like in the rack. Sam Kang going from the side. Yeah, just went to pick up the ball right in front of the referee. I think it was just, maybe the pressure got to him a little bit. Made a really brain fart decision. And Ben O'Keefe was right there. Says that, yeah, mate, look, I've got no choice. We warned you guys repeatedly. And that is just very cynical right in front of the try line. No choice, a yellow card. And that finally allowed the Crusaders to put another rolling more in for the try to take over the lead. And in the last few minutes, like I was talking about, the Chiefs, with a play in the bin, wasn't able to get over the advantage line at all. Like, the Crusaders defense was able to push the Chiefs back inside their own 22 from the halfway, and eventually Leicester Fainga'a Nuku, believe it or not, was the guy that spotted a little opportunity, jumped into the rack, got the lift motion, which satisfied Ben O'Keefe. Looked like he fell over. Satisfied Ben O'Keefe, just a brief moment of lifting. Ben O'Keefe saw enough to give it out a penalty, and then Richie Mo'unga converts that to seal the game as the clock ticked over the 80-minute mark. So let's have a look at some of the key moments of the game. The Crusaders had a bit of early dominance of the game. 8 minutes into the game, Crusaders gets a penalty. They kick the points for 3-0 early in the game. Right from the kickoff of the 3 points that Crusaders kicked, Anton Leonard-Brown runs in, really tried to make a statement, put a huge shot on the ball receiver, did not duck at all, head-on-head collision. Should have been a red card, but the TMO review said that was a yellow, so he gets yellow card. But still, yellow card. Less than 10 minutes into the game is quite pain. Like on the 10-minute mark, essentially, it's quite painful for any team. Not an ideal situation. 24 minutes into the game, the Chiefs gets themselves a bit of a, really gets themselves a bit of a dominance in the tackling. What's his name? Stevenson. What's his name? Luke Stevenson. Suddenly forgot his first name. Yeah. No, Luke, not Stevenson. Luke Jacobson. Luke Jacobson. Did I call him Stevenson earlier? It's Jacobson. Luke Jacobson runs in. Massive shot on Will Jordan and rips the ball out of him. And then Chiefs just quickly starts counter-attack. They spread the ball out to the right wing to Narawai. And then he kind of like runs in field, draws a few defenders, draws all the Crusader defenders to the right-hand side, and then they spread the ball out quickly to the left-hand side. Damian McKenzie gets the ball, throws the ball behind to Stevenson, who just found himself massive guard in center field, just run through for the first try for the Chiefs. And that was looking really, really good. The Chiefs attack looked smooth. The handling looked crisp. Just utilizing the full width of the field, immediately resulting in a try for the Chiefs. 27 minutes into the game, repeated penalties. Literally after the try was scored, repeated penalty happened. Jacobson gets sent off for a yellow card due to repeated penalties. Crusaders take this opportunity, kicks the ball out for an expected more, and then with the number 8 in the bin, the Crusaders ball was just too much power. Goes over. What's his name? Cody Taylor drops the ball down for a try. Pretty much we've seen this all season. The Crusaders more rolls, and then there's just a little breakaway segment goes over for the try. Suddenly, Crusaders back up 8 points to 10. Richie Mo'unga misses this conversion, so stays behind by 2 points. 32 minutes into the game, Damian McKenzie had a opportunity to kick for a penalty, and he misses this one. This one was, again, the Crusaders infringe at a breakdown. The fans were screaming for a yellow card because, Jacobson was sent off for a similar infringement of the breakdown, but the Crusaders hasn't really considered that many penalties leading to this one, so none of that was given out. Again, the Chiefs, if I was to criticize the Chiefs a little bit, I felt like they probably should have taken the opportunity to put on some pressure on the Crusaders at this point, because they, I know they got 3 points here, but I feel like, probably putting more pressure on. They might actually got the yellow card because the Crusaders was struggling a little bit under the pressure of the defense. So 35 minutes into the game, there was another Chiefs set piece. Again, really crisply executed. Oh, sorry, this was another Crusader set piece. Really well executed. They go for the line out. They go for the maul. This was like 40 meters out. The ball comes out from the maul. Just good hand centered field. like nice little ball behind ball to Will Jordan. Jordan slips through a little gap, and then he like draws the last defender, throws the ball out wide to Lester Faenga-Nuku, who found this massive gap down the sideline. He gets tackled short, 5 meters short. The ball pops out really quick, and Richie Mo'unga really just already full pace up to the gang line as the ball comes out. Bang! He as he gets the ball, he's already over the advantage line. Massive hit to Sam Can. He crashes through just like that immediately. For that one set play and one phase later, he scores for the Crusaders. 10 points to 15. He couldn't convert this one. Just before full time, Crusaders had another penalty 50 meters out. They tried for a long range kick and they missed that one going into halftime. Second half starts, the Chiefs really kicked into the gear. The end of the first half didn't really look for the Chiefs. The Crusaders looking, overwhelmingly dominant. The Chiefs gets, really start putting some big shots, getting some turnovers. Peter Garcia-Akula gets a massive turnover at the breakdown. The Chiefs gets a penalty. They go for the line out. They kick the ball out. The Nanawai again get another big run down the field. Peter Gas picks up the ball. He crashes over and I think it was held up. He got really close, but eventually, the Chiefs did a penalty advantage for offside, and then they kick this one for 3. Ticks him. Sorry, what happened here? No. Before this try was, before this one, we'll go back a little bit. There was a try before, scored right away in the second half, 2 minutes in the second half. So the Chiefs had a scrum about center field. There was a short blind side. The scrum comes out, ball goes out to D-Mac, kind of like the second receiver. He runs into the defender, just beautiful inside ball. I didn't even see this was coming. Sean Stevenson ran this line from behind the scrum or something. He found himself on the inside of D-Mac and just punches through a massive hole, and then he runs down the sideline, links up with Nawara, who goes in for the first try in the second half of the Chiefs, and the Chiefs gives himself in front, 17 points to 15. So yeah, and then after this, there was a nice little breakdown penalty from Peter Gas, good running for Nanawai, and then Peter Gas as well, some pick and drive, and then eventually they got another penalty a few minutes later, right in front of the goal. Chiefs kicks another one, 20 points to 15. 55 minutes into the game, the Chiefs look like they executed another perfect set piece from the line out. They were 50 meters out. This is just something that the Wallabies actually do quite a bit. The Wallabies like to overthrow the ball from the line out, and the ball goes straight for the 12, who runs a crash ball into the 10 channel. This is exactly the same move, but the receiver this time is Damien McKenzie. You overthrow, Damien McKenzie gets the ball, runs into the 10 channel, crashes through, links up with his teammates, and then eventually Nanawai gets the ball. He runs down, palms off one of the defenders, goes in. It looked like he scored. There was a review for a potential forward pass from D-Mac to Nanawai. It did look a little bit forward, but the TMO had a look. I recognized that Damien McKenzie was actually offside whilst running in to receive this overthrown ball. He was already like halfway before the ball was even thrown because he knew he was going to get the ball. So he jumped the gun a little bit. So so the try was disallowed because of the offside from Damien McKenzie. So if this try had scored like a few phases later, they wouldn't even check that. But because of the fact they scored in one phase, they had to go back and check that and then deem that was actually a offside from Damien McKenzie. 55 minutes into the game, the Crusaders starting putting some hurt on. They were really trying to squeeze, because they're 5 points behind, really trying to get a try on the ball. They got penalties. They're turning down the penalties, going for the try. They go for the try, go for the more. The Chiefs was, defended. What's his name? Finlay Christie? Not Finlay Christie. What's his name? Tom Christie gets the ball, and then he kind of rips the ball out, kind of darts for the line, and he gets held up. The Chiefs again gets the Crusaders had a penalty advantage. They again go for the line, go for the more, and then once again the Crusaders piles in. They get held up over the try line. The Chiefs gets a goal line dropout. The goal line dropout goes out, and Chiefs meets the Crusaders at the breakdown and turns the ball over. And then it was huge turnaround. Crusader has all this opportunity to kick for 3, went for the points, got shut down, and the Chiefs really just turned that out. That was looking really impressive period of defense by the Chiefs there. And then 69 minutes into the game, the Crusaders once again gets penalties. And once again, the Crusaders opting to go for the try instead of the points. They kick the ball out for a 5-meter line out. The Cody Taylor gets tackled 1 meter short. The Crusaders are piling in. Chiefs gets caught offside, and the Crusaders had a penalty advantage. And again, I thought the Crusaders probably should have spread the ball out wide and trusted the set piece out wide, but instead it just kept them tight. Scott Barrett goes again, gets held up, and I thought that was a bit of a wasted opportunity. But luckily, they did have a penalty advantage. They go for another maul, and this time the maul gets like kind of forced over illegally. The ball kind of gets ripped out of the maul. The Crusader player runs I think it was anyway. The Crusader player runs in. He gets tackled again. A few minutes short. Sam Kang, losing his composure, runs in from the side, tries to pick the ball up, and then the referee says, "Nah, that's cynical. Yellow card." So the Chiefs had to play with the last 10 minutes with a play in the bin. Sam Kang gone. The Crusaders finally cracks the try line. They go for another maul again. This time with the player missing, just like in the first half. The maul rolled, and this little breakaway segment of the Chiefs of the Crusaders team goes over for a try. Suddenly, the scoreboard is 2 points ahead for the Crusaders, 20 points to 22. A few minutes later, the Chiefs gets a penalty, 75 minutes, 53 meters out. And I really felt like the Chiefs should have just kept the pressure on. I kind of understand it. It's really difficult because they have a play in the bin. But this was out of range for the D-Mac. And he kicks it just a bit short. Yeah, so they missed that one for the Crusaders. But the Chiefs still had an opportunity to play. They were like at a halfway point and just running the ball with the clock ticking down with about a couple minutes left. And the Crusaders' defense was so impressive. They pushed the Chiefs from the 50-meter mark all the way back into their own 22. And then finally, just before full time, Fainga and Nuku, like the Crusaders were not committing anyone in the breakdowns. And the almost like the Chiefs was just like being a bit overconfident at that point. They're just like, oh, the Crusaders are not going to come test the breakdown. Whatever, we're not going to really commit too much on that either. Just focus on setting up their attacks. And then Lester Fainga and Nuku snuff this weakness out of the Chiefs, goes in for the turnover and gets it. Penalty, 20 minutes out in front of the Chiefs, off from an angle. Richie Moronga, as the clock ticks over the red, pops this one through. His final game for the Crusaders. He's going overseas next year. And this is the dynasty ends for the Crusaders, potentially, but another dynasty will begin for the All Blacks under Scott Robertson. Yeah, very impressive. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you watching my videos. See you guys next week for the news, and have a good weekend. Hopefully you enjoy the rugby game. Cheers.